What is up, Fubula fam? Oh my gosh, I have an incredible game to show y'all right now. It is like way past my bedtime. I just decided to like play a game or two before I head to bed, but I managed to queue up against literally one of the greatest to ever play superautopets, Onet. I was playing ranked, playing weekly. The weekly just came out about 24 hours ago at the time of this recording. It's this weekly pack that you see in front of you. I have it pulled up in the replay mode right now, so I know it's a little bit harder to read, but it was a very interesting game. It's rare that you get to play against someone that goated in ranked. You know, obviously people that have high ratings in ranked, they earned them, right? They're definitely good, but Onet, you know, the reputation precedes them. So very, very exciting game. And let's walk through it. Let's see how I managed, you know. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. Let's get after it. So there were some cool moments for sure. I'll say this, you can tell by the smile on my face, I'm proud of something that happened in this game. I don't want to like spoil who won or not. I mean, come on, you can probably guess who won. So but anyway, there's some cool stuff that I want to show you. So all right, let's get into it. Weekly pack. It's pretty random. There's a nice, I looked at this honestly for the first time right before I queued up into this game. This is actually my first game with the weekly pack, and I'm playing against Onet, dude. So anyway, welcome to weekly ranked, dude. Good to have you. So this is the weekly pack. I took a quick breeze look at it real quick before I queued up. Basically, what I noticed was the tier 4s were pretty good, but the tier 3s are also very strong, right? Like if you hit like rabbit, ox, or giraffe, that's really pog. The one other thing that I really noticed is outside of the tier 2s, basically a lot of the toy pets are represented. So, and flying squirrel is in here, and we got the faint dude to get extra booty. There's no pill though. But in any case, I noticed that there was like a decent toy sub theme. You know, we even have like Gecko to start, right? So I'm like, okay, there's at least good toy synergy, so maybe I could build around that if it comes my way. So without further ado, let's get into it. Basically, typical auto pets gaming the first turn, right? Like we're just gonna try and get level ups. I do pick the balloon here because I think there's a decent chance that I might try to collect like 3, if not 6 fishes. I go in the tank and pick underwater sausages when there's only seconds left. I'm still kind of shook that I'm playing against Onet. So here we go. They have double duckling and a cockroach, which I'm actually kind of jealous of because the foods are a little sussy in this pack. And I'm like, dang. The cockroach is definitely going to be a problem later because it's going to have some natural scaling for tempo, right? And then the ducklings, if Onet levels up into a really good pet, that could be very problematic, right? So we go to turn 2 here. We have 2 geckos, we have 2 beavers. So I'm definitely gonna take the 2 geckos, of course, because I have the balloon. And I end up selling the ferret there, but there's an argument to keep it. I find a gecko, perfect. I roll, hit a beaver, boom. You can only be competitive against the best in the world if you get some luck, okay? So we're just gonna get that out of the way. I'm gonna have some decent rolls this game, okay? Let's just say what it is, you know. Luckily, we just have good stats here. We managed to get another win here to go up 1 total heart after 2 turns. Basically, they only had 4 units. That's really the reason that happened because a 3-5, you know, cockroach should be good enough to kill most things, like to win the rounds. All right, so we level up. Great options here. We level up again. Not so great options. So I decided to go with rabbit because I'm like, at least rabbit's some scaling. I end up taking the bear. I do want to rewind a little bit. Let's just start this turn over again. We'll go fast real quick. Okay, perfect. I definitely should have taken, oh, I can't even read it. I definitely should have taken the pangolin. I'm probably mispronouncing that. You can roast me in the comments if I'm not saying that correctly. Just because we do have the gecko, so we're obviously going to be wanting more toys. The reason I didn't take this at the time was like, there's no pills, so I can't transfer the stats later. But it doesn't matter. It's still like a ton of stats for 1 unit. I definitely should have taken it. So in hindsight, this bear isn't going to do anything. It's just like a 3/5 William, essentially has no abilities. Luckily, we do lock a ferret, or freeze it rather, in the shop, so that way, you know, we have a toy set up for next turn. But this fight, we should most certainly lose, given that, like, our gecko's weaker, we only have 3 units, right? So, it is what it is. Not that upset that I lost this fight, honestly, especially since he's got 2 snails on their team, so, you know, they at least lose some value there. But we don't want to, you know... If you prevent your opponent from getting snail value every turn, you lose the game. So you just have to accept that they're going to get the snail bonus at some point, probably. So I end up taking this other ferret here simply because I'm like, oh, maybe we'll hit a level 2 ferret. Maybe we'll get some extra value or something, right? But you'll see how that ends up turning out. So now the gecko with extra oomph is still not enough because we have a very, very big cockroach in the final position there. As I had mentioned, I knew this cockroach was going to be a problem. And yeah, 5/8 is tough to beat. But we hit a garlic, which is pretty huge for gecko. And then we're also getting a little extra booty thanks to the rabbit. And then I finally get the pangolin and realize, like, oh, wait. Maybe I don't want to set it up this turn because I'll have balloon stats hit my gecko. But in general, if we're going to have garlics, right, this extra 5 hearts from the pangolin is going to be very, very crucial. It's going to play a lot of dividends and do a lot of damage. I decided to sell the ferret because I'm thinking about transitioning into playing ox and sheep. Then I'm going to pause for a while and realize, like, I shouldn't commit to that because it's like, I don't want to lock my board. My toy is about to go away. Ideally, if I could find flying squirrel this turn, because it's turn 5, right? Then I can keep my toys cooking. I can keep all my abilities on. This would be really, really good. So I end up prematurely selling this. I don't know if I can. I'm still nervous that I played Onet. I can't believe it. So, and a little shook that I'm playing them, right? Like you don't see the timer in the replay in the bottom, but I'm using every second of every turn because I know like Onet's definitely going to capitalize on any big mistakes that I make. So I end up taking the ox and I roll, and then I see the flying squirrel and realize my mistake, and I'm like, screw it. Let me just go down to 4 squatted. I might lose this fight, but at least my synergy will be cooking for next turn. And luckily, with the combination of the garlic, this gecko is going to town. And even 4 squatted, we win that fight. And I think that fight is a huge turning point of making this whole match even competitive, right? So we get some extra value on the gecko. The flying squirrel goes up a little bit, and we're gonna feed a salad before we get another unit out here, get a little more rabbit value, get another squirrel, because why not? And then, yeah, let's just pop on another garlic. We're getting rabbit value. We're gonna get the extra hearts from the pangolin. So now we have 2 units that are gonna have big booties with garlic. That's tough to shred through, right? And as you can see here, you know, that gecko level 2 really, really cooking with that garlic. Really tough for Onet's team to slice through. So now I combine because the value from the balloon is just not enough anymore. We're going to go foams. I go foam sword because we're ahead 4-3, and this is my first time playing the weekly, and I'm like, I don't know if I even want melon on any of these units, and I'm also not sure that what I'm even transitioning into. But I know the foam sword is dealing damage now, right? Like it's a tempo item, right? Like I could invest in my future and set up for melons, but if I set up for melons and I end up not even keeping that pet around, then how good was that, right? And right now the garlics are putting in a lot of work. So it's like, I don't even know if I want to replace garlics in 2 turns, right? Because if you look at Onet's team, there's a lot of big booties, but there's not a ton of attack. Now there is 2 croissants, so the attack will be coming. So there is an argument to be made there, but also too, there's a level 2 snail plus a regular snail. So the foam sword isn't really gonna like kill that much, but I just figured, you know, I'm on a winning streak right now. Let me just press the attack and get more damage. And then hopefully it'll help me just win some even more rounds in the mid game here. So I end up finding another, dang dude, what's his pet's name again? a Garreal. I don't know. You're gonna kill me in the comments if I'm butchering your favorite pets' names. I know I'm probably jacking them up, but I'm coming to realize that I know the pictures of these pets. Like I know you can do 6 to the weakest, 6 to the last, or get a melon 2 turns from now, but I've never said this pet's name out loud. Anyway, the Garreal, I find another one in the shop. I'm freezing it for sure because, you know, I'm already thinking like a tempo plan with a sword. So if I can get a level 2, not only can I see like a tier 5 or a tier 6, depending on when I level up, but getting double sword will be a ton of damage, right? So that's kind of where my head's at. I'm definitely freezing that. Rolling, saving the skunk. Just because I see this Tamaran on the other side with 13 booty, we got these snails cooking. I'm like, maybe I'm gonna want to skunk something, right? So then we go to this fight here. The snails are still cooking. There's some mega butts on the other side, but luckily I'm still just doing just enough damage to cut through. And I feel like the sword, I don't know if I needed it to win that fight, but I might need it to win future fights. So you'll have to pay attention. This shop, awesome. Everything is highlighted, right? So we just take the half level so we can level up the following turn. Because it's turn 8. We want to make sure we see a tier 6. And I do want to pause here for a second because you don't see it in the replay, but I did check what was in the weekly pack, being like, okay, is it worth it for me to just take the level up right now? Like, how good is the tier 5s versus the tier 6s? And there are some great tier 5s. You know, Monkey would be more scaling. You could switch what toy we're using, right? Get Stinky Sock or the flashlight or whatever. But I looked at the tier 6s and I'm like, man, Lionfish, Fly, Dragon, you know, even Gorilla in the right situation, especially since we have like rabbit scaling, could be really good. So I'm just like, screw it. Normal convention, you until all the tiers are unlocked, you don't level up on an even turn, so it's better to wait for the next shop. So I just hold the level and freeze roll. And then now we're just feeding foods to these pets just so we can get some more value. Knowing that I'm gonna level up and that their booties are getting pretty big on the other side, I'm like, rabbit, you're out of here. Let's just get the skunk tech in and get that rabbit value before it's gone. So now Onet's team, I'm gonna pause for a second. Now Onet's team is starting to get a little serious, right? Like there's multiple croissants. There's some really good stats on the other side, right? They still have this snail cooking. And this is a pretty fierce combo, right? Because any round they lose, everyone's gonna get 2 hearts. And then feeding the seal is going to buff everyone's attack. So there's some legitimate scaling going on the other side of the table here. But luckily, for the sake of the video, I lose that fight. So now it's 3-2. Things are evening up, okay? All right, but we take our level up, and what do we get? We get a level 2 sword, of course, because I want to keep pressing the attack with the tempo, right? Like, oh, okay, well, if 2 turns ago waiting for melons was too slow, I'm not taking melons now. And I think foam sword is better than laser gun or whatever. Onet can absolutely position around that, right? So we're taking double foam sword for sure. And we hit the drag on, baby. Arguably the best tier 6 in the whole pack, right? Because there's not really a ton of like insano scaling. It's not like there's like a poodle or husky or something, right? And our board is kind of locked if you look at it, right? You know, we got our gecko, we got our flying squirrel, you know, we got the other pets with synergies here for toys. So we could lose the skunk. Skunk didn't help us win that last round. We actually lost it anyway. And then we just need one other free slot to keep cycling 1 cost, and then we can just keep cooking, right? So I end up selling the skunk, of course, getting this drag on in play. And I decided to give up the extra hearts that come with that pet because I figure I want to make sure I always have a toy going with flying squirrel. And I just thought the 9/9 slots with garlic was just going to be better with this dragon. So that's why I let it go. And then, yeah, now we're just going to end up cycling 1 costs here. Do a little positioning finagling, a little visual bug there. I think the flying squirrel's in 4th position. Yeah. And now it is time to duel. They leveled up and actually have a half-level lionfish, which is pretty awesome with a seal, but we win that fight kind of handedly. Onet's only on 1 heart. And now we're going to roll for our dragon, and we're just going to pop off. We got ourselves a fish. Roll again. Got ourselves a chipmunk. Will we be fortunate enough to see more level 1s? We are. We sell. We buy another one. We freeze one. We roll. And our shop has 3 more 1 costs. So, how, we do a little repositioning. How does Onet get out of this? How do they beat me? Right? Because they're the best. They do the smart thing and they concede, baby. Let's go. Hell yeah. Getting that W against Onet. Not even bothering to play it out. Which honestly, it makes me feel really good. It means, because like I'm sweating it, man. Onet's like one of the best ever. And one of the best when they're really active. So for Onet to be like, to concede to me is I know this is weird to say, but it means a lot, man. It means a lot, you know? It's because I guess I'll put it this way. If Onet didn't respect me as a player at all, they would play it out being like, oh, they might blunder this situation. Now, maybe this situation is so ridiculous, he knows he has no chance at winning, no matter how brain dead his opponent is. And maybe I am being a dumb player by interpreting any value in this situation. But, you know, they were on 1 heart, right? So it's like, in theory, you could have just played it out. But concedes, we get the W, we get the win against one of the best to do it. I quickly tried to record like the rating points as they went up right as this match happened. Because like I said, I played this right before I went to bed. I'm actually staying up way past my bedtime right now, recording my live reaction to right after the game happening. So let's cut to that real quick. Yo, 14 points. Let's go. Oh my gosh. And the nobody down here. Let me hide the thing. I accidentally clicked it before I could finish, before I could do the recording because it wasn't showing up on the stream. Oh my gosh. Or on the OBS, I mean. Dude, I just queued against Onet in the weekly pack. And not only did I win, but I was so far ahead, the respect that Onet gave me being like, yeah, I'm good. We don't need to play this out. I'll just concede. 14 points. Boom. I was scared once I got queued up. Oh my gosh. All right, hold up. Let's make sure. Dang, I wish the OBS caught it right away before the name left, but I can prove it real quick. I just finished, right? History, replays, the underwater sausages, and we'll just go to the first fight here. The uncertain lizards. Boom. Onet, dude. Oh my gosh. I just got a ranked win against Onet. One of the greatest to ever do it, dude. Like, I don't even have a hat on right now. It's like not the right lighting. I have this terrible light on behind me, which I never use whenever I'm recording. But I was like, holy crap. I gotta press record right now. I cannot believe I just got this W. Holy smokes. And 14 points, that's no joke. That's no joke. You know it's legit when you go up 14. Oh my gosh. Hopefully this was like a fun roller coaster ride for you as much as it was for me. Hopefully it gave you some encouragement that when you queue up against someone that's higher rated than you and also has a great reputation for being an awesome player, you don't just leave. You know, that's a low T move. We're all about big T energy here. You get queued up against someone that's amazing, that's higher rated than you. You accept the challenge. You queued up yourself, right? If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So hopefully this was some encouragement for you. You maybe learned a thing or two, or you at least had fun enjoying the story and going along with the ride with me. So until next time, happy sapping.